Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. A vibrational wave of energy that is grace. And now you, here, the soul, just before starting your immortal travel, your immortal trip in the cosmos. You travel through different bodies in different times, incarnation after incarnation, incarnation after incarnation. You have been many persons, and however, you are none of them. You are a current of consciousness. One of the current of consciousness that emerge directly from the source. One of the rays of consciousness. When consciousness exploded in its power of expansion, hundreds of thousands of millions, billions, trillions, zillions of rays expanded throughout the universe. And one of those rays of consciousness is you. And you are God, and God is you. And God is learning also through you to live its history deeply. It created a power in the universe that makes you forget that you are God. And that power is called Maya, delusion. And this tremendous power is all the sentient beings, when they walk for the first time on this earth. And this principle of forgetfulness is called Maya, the delusion. On this earth have a power that drives crazy all the men. And this power is called delusion, Maya. It makes you forget the power of forgetting your own true nature. It makes the soul to forget that is connected to God, that belong to God, and that they are God, learning in its own particular form. Everything is to create its own creation. But in that forgetfulness, there is suffering. there is great suffering. And in that forgetfulness, there's great separation. And in that forgetfulness, there's great limitation. And there is a greater sense of imperfection. And like this, the soul, which is the result of different experiences of consciousness, take merits and demerits. And like this is how the energy becomes a soul. A soul that can have enough spiritual energy in the spirit that fill it, or a soul that has empty its own spiritual energy. And that trip throughout different incarnations, forgetfulness, separation, imperfection, and limitation is called the samsara, an ever-ending trip on this planet. Until one day, when the balance is in equilibrium, and this equilibrium is in balance with the karma, the correct actions, and the demerits, the bad actions are in balance. That day, that glorious day, that wonderful day, you'll find a master. A master that is a disciple in true nature. A disciple that has emptied its own identity. Because as empty its own identity, the cosmic principle of the Guru now can act in he or her. And the cosmic principle of the Guru is that which bestows the grace in the form of God that bestows grace. And now, a wave of vibrational energy that is grace emerges from the corners, the highest kingdoms of the universe, and floats your being. And renew yourself, enlighten yourself, and awaken to your own self. From the highest parts, dimensional parts of the universe. That is grace, the form of God that bestows grace. The form of God that bestows grace. Creation, creating, preserving, sustaining, transmuting, changing, eliminating. The delusion the forgetfulness, and the bestowing of grace, the liberation, the great end of this dimension, the great final test of the exit of this non-dimension, the great ascension to the beautiful dimension happens only when you become aware of the grace. And what is that grace? Is that wave. It's a wave of energy that sweeps with all darkness. A vibrational wave that creates a world in itself, creating a sphere perfect of protection, love and consecration. The grace, a wave, a vibrational wave that runs through your being. Enter into inhalation and exhalation and runs with the oxygen in all your cells. In all your structure, on all your organs, in all your emotions, in all your being, all your senses, all your bodies, mental and psychic. Become aware of grace and allow that grace flows you from the inside. Allow that this grace be and holds you from the inside. Allow it to be always the floor that sustains you and the sky that looks from above. Allow you to feel grace around you, in the top of you, below you, in your left, in your right, from inside and from outside. May this grace create a sphere, protecting this portal, this beautiful vortex of divine energy in this assigned place. This sphere, beautiful, powerful, of protection, of contention, interdimensional. This is sphere interdimensional. Allow this grace established permanently, protecting this vortex, this influx of divine energy that provides. It comes from the most high spheres, celestial spheres, of the pure crystalline shining, refulgent love of God, a vibrational wave of energy that is grace. May grace support you and back you up. May grace guide you. May grace guide you and impulse you. May grace heal you. May grace regenerate you. May grace repair you. And may grace strengthen you. A vibrational wave of energy that expands and purifies. It's a wave of love that cleans everything, that everything purifies and everything elevates. Grace. Grace. Grace is a wave of energy, waves of light, visible and invisible, full with information in its particles, celestial information. Interdimensional information, pure wisdom, pure consciousness, pure awareness. This grace gives you strength for this time. Grace is immanent, omnipotent, omniscient. Allow yourself to feel the sphere of grace. Is the sphere of grace where, even though you are in this world, nothing can touch you. You can travel this world through the sphere of grace. A vibrational wave of energy that now is an sphere, a whole world. You inhale the grace and exhale grace, and allow grace protects you. Grace heals you. Grace elevates you. Grace nurtures you. And grace bestow you your best wishes for you, for the others. The knowledge of the virtue, the detachment where you allow that grace act. Remember, detachment is the power where you allow grace do its work. In trust, in total trust, grace guides you. The grace that you can listen in the heart. Thanks to grace, you have clarity in your thoughts clarity of action. Grace sustains and preserves everything you have reached. That which we have achieved together. Grace protected and elevated, enhanced. Grace is a wave, is a vibrational wave that flows and enters and frees. Grace is all capacity of power of distinguishing, discerning, May this grace know no limits, be eternal for you. Waves and waves, waves of grace, waves of grace. Grace, a vibrational wave. Rest in the grace, rest in grace. In the trust that you have been fully bathed in grace. This grace is imminent, omnipotent, omniscient. Allow it to protect you, to guide you, and elevate you. Grace, a vibrational wave of energy. May your life be full of grace. May our life be full of grace. A life full of grace. A touch of grace. The Guru's grace. The Guru's grace. The Guru's grace.